Okay, on stream. Hello, hello. Okay, fuck this shit up and we can start. Hello everyone. I will just share my link before we start. Welcome everyone. So yeah, we will see a lot of bullish setup for me today because you know my lines. The market timing is very important. Many altcoins, as I expected, made a slight bearish correction, but fundamentals, long-term adoption, and more. Plus, the global chart looks very, very solid, especially the pattern structures with all validation on my lines. So we will see. You can ask your chart. I will review them, but on most of altcoin, I'm not bearish. To introduce, it might be a sideways phase, I think, for some days, some weeks more, but I think that a lot of large cap, medium cap will start to fly within a few weeks. So before we start, I will update Bitcoin price. We will see together what we can expect and how many times it can stay in a range. If everything is okay, you can confirm if you see my screen and if the song is okay. So this time I'm not banned from Binance Square because last time I had a different, I used a different background, so they block my link. So I think the algorithm will let me produce my content today. I will just share my link on media to people to warn them that I'm live and we can start. Sharing one more time my link. So the algorithm on Binance Square is pretty strict, so I can't promote many things, but I think this is a law. Up. And then we can start. So I'm also on live on YouTube if you want. Okay, and the song is the song okay, please? Hello, hello, welcome, guys. Up. And wait, I'm waiting maybe 2 minutes. We can start then. By the way, if you enjoy this kind of poster, please tell me. Because I can use a lot, but I want to do things good for you, for my community. And by the way, also, yeah, in September, over 30 call, we are at 89% win rate, so more than 450% gain on cumulative with futures, so that's insane. So let's go. I'm currently in GOT USDT position as expected yesterday. As you can see, I will share quickly. Hop. Because someone asked. And you could review the stream. Yeah, you could also review the stream after on YouTube and on Binance Square also. So you have my link in my bio if you want to follow on other media. And before we start, also, this is not a financial advice. Please do your own research and don't invest money that you can't afford to lose. This is very important. And my personal advice is to not gamble with high leverage. Try hard with low leverage, and when you have a winning strategy, you can increase them only over the long term to be profitable. This is very important. Up. So let's go for Bitcoin. Up. Wait, answering. I think so. I will change, yeah, because we are likely bullish. So yeah, this is say we will review it, but this is insane. I remember, if you remember my stream, I gave you say entrance, so support point around 0.26. It's already up, yeah, 35%. So I don't see I see the pattern like you, but my strategy is to confirm with Ichimoku lines also, and with other parameters such as volume and fib. So that's why with long term, since I'm a trader in a long term period now, since ages, so I'm able to have a very high win rate and deliver call and chart with a lot of success rate. So you see, yeah, yesterday I put this neutral view on Bitcoin, the possibility for me. So currently for the newcomers, I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart, which will surely define the next market direction, okay? So I didn't follow the last Fed rate cut, but I guess that this will be positive. Yeah, you see, because my trend has moved. Yeah, so I will lock it here. You can also lock your lines on TradingView if you don't know, just by clicking on this up to avoid when you switch time frame, to avoid mismanipulation. Up. Hello. Okay, so as I explained yesterday, if we dezoom on the monthly view to start on Bitcoin, this is so bullish. The monthly view is absurd. This is literally very, very bullish. Since I would say, yeah, since this candle closed, exactly we flip long term bullish, and we are still in the macro trend bullish. You see this exit, this huge breakout, it was on February of the last year. This candle marked a breakout of the long term, and this one, and this is here, this was the K retest above the previous ATH around 60. The ATH has been here since many years, for almost 10 years of Bitcoin. It was the previous ATH, and since we broke above and consolidate above, you see the Ichimoku lines. This is perfect. We excited the cloud. We broke above the previous lagging span high, and we retested the long-term support, and each time we dumped, each time we had a very huge bull pressure, and we closed each time almost above the previous ATH. So since this point here, we have the first point of the long-term trend. Second touch, because there was a major 30% correction move, so in January of this year, and now we are up 70% from the second point, but the main trend remain very, very bullish. I will give you the point. Yeah, you see the 50% fib here immediately. When you draw the line, you have the 50% fib. So this is why technically Ichimoku is very useful, because in one chart you have all the K level inside the chart, like golden pocket and 50% fib. You see on the weekly we got the 50% fib retest. So it's likely, I'm not a specialist of Elliott wave or something, but here if we started the macro bull trend cycle, you see you have the wave 1, because yeah, if it corresponds to the previous breakout, so I guess that we can start a new long-term breakout cycle with the wave 1.2. So wave 1, 0, 1, 2. Maybe we will see maybe a third wave upward, which is usually the strongest one. And for me, it makes sense technically, as long as the long-term uptrend is holding. We are still in this possible scenario, but judging by the time frame, it's very difficult to say right now if prices is gonna continue to consolidate sideways. It's in fact the fact is that we are still neutral on the daily. Hello. Yes, you can see my chart. Yes, we started. So if there is any problem, please tell me. Yeah, I will check open. I'm explaining about Bitcoin right now and see what we can do with this chart. So as explained, the macro structure looks very bullish and very healthy for me. As you can see, up. Monthly trend still very bullish. Okay, all component, prices above all component, lagging span still above prices. But the fact is that I'm scared about this because we are still highly overextend. So usually it results in a large buy volume, buy pressure, and constant buy pressure over time. So it's not usually a bad sign, but it tends to say to me that we are likely to stay sideways for some days, some weeks more from this. If we zoom on the daily view, right now we have a possible breakout setup, but it's still very neutral without any confirmation. So you see the price is hanging inside the cloud. We have a twist here. So if we get rejected tonight around 118k, then seeing a pullback is likely possible. But to sum up, we have 3 main levels you can see here. So yeah, exact this top right there, which is the main resistance area. Second one, we have, yeah, likely it was 116, 115, this one. So monitor, you can check all the level I mentioned, because each breakout above or below will result in likely a big move toward the next level. So technically, I think that in case of maybe daily or weekly candle close above 120k, then if we consolidate above, it will result likely in another macro bull wave, medium term bull wave, because I guess this one won't be much important because this is not a double top structure. There is no double top structure, because usually when you have a double top, you have something like this. You have a first wave, big rejection, and after that you often have sharp wave to retest and quick wave to retest the previous high. But look at this. For me, the main level to be break is here, as you can see, with all the touch, all the test each time by the candle close. You see each daily candle, 1, 2, 3, almost. This is very important to see it. Since 22 days, we hang and failed to close above 120k. So if we break above 120 on the daily, that will be very good. And this was only one touch here. So for now, it remains a weak level, even if it's the 88, because if we consolidate here, I guess that we will have enough power to break far above, especially with the lagging span. If the lagging span will be free to move without obstacle. So what can I expect to sum up and to move on other alt up is that if we look at the H4 view, so one candle is 4 hours time frame, so don't gamble with this time frame in the short term, okay? Hello. Yeah, Easter was very good. Easter Dex up. So as I said, we have 118.5. If we are neutral, we could see a pullback. I expect to see a pullback toward 112, but currently it's pretty hard to say because this level is also a magnet one. So currently we are bullish on the H4. Okay, we have not tested the upper resistances, but zooming on the daily, we are still very neutral. Okay, and we are bullish on the monthly and weekly. On the weekly, weekly structure looks pretty good because as you can see, and if you review my previous stream, I called exactly for this to happen. You remember my, I will show you, that was insane because it's very important to review our good job and to understand the long-term configuration, and that was really on point. If you remember my maybe it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, I called for this correction to happen exactly at the middle of this level. You see, yeah, it's like the same view on the monthly, but usually when you draw here the fib level from the flat Kijun here, flat Tenkan here with large space, you have the 50% fib corresponding to the middle of this area, and I called for this kind of correction, and I said if we retested it with strong bull pressure, then it will be an open gate for price to move higher for the bulls, and this is exactly what's happening. You see, we tested nicely the 50% fib no, from this wave to this, no, it was, yeah, sorry, let me find the fib because, yeah, so it was from this bottom, from this, so I have to dezoom, yeah, it was from this wave, okay, exactly, yeah, you see, it's the upper golden pocket, and here you have the 50% fib, and if you draw the 26 candle fib, it corresponds, yeah, to the golden pocket here. So this is not the fib level on Ichimoku, but the lowest golden pocket, which is visible here because prices stayed for long on this zone, and yeah, so this test was K, and currently if you look at the long term, bulls for me are in full control above this point, so here, and you have lower support, but for now we can delete them. So to sum up, monthly bullish, weekly bullish trend but neutral, so it can remain neutral, and it's hard to say what could be the next move in the really short term, but globally with the mono inflow, ETF inflow, bank adoption, trader volume adoption on DEX and many things, plus layer 2 chain building on Bitcoin, which could drive liquidity into the Bitcoin chain also. This is very important to know that more time is going through, and more you have a project building on the layer 2, which could enhance the capacity of Bitcoin chain. So this is also a very good point for the ordinal, if you know the domain also, the field. Many things are bullish for Bitcoin, except in case of Black Swan event or something like this. I don't think that now the structure is remain very clean. So yeah, that's it for Bitcoin. So we have the market direction for the alt market, but short term can be very tricky. Always focus on the medium term if you don't have a strict strategy. So in case of rejection, I would monitor the 112k, 110.5, 107. But for now, as long as we remain above 107k, this K structure here, which I showed you, bulls are in full control. And if we lose, by the way, if we are seeing something like this, range inside this box, with many tests of this support, if we lose the 107k, then I guess that a panic move will be seen. But for now, we are not here. The structure remains pretty bullish, and we are attacking the upper main level. So the best to do for me is to monitor daily volume, weekly volume with clean breakout above. Then you will have your green light for a safe entry for long term, medium term setup. And of course you have the 99 100k below plus the upper, the lower long term trend. And yeah, if you followed my previous stream, I remain globally bullish above 94 93k, let's say. Which will correspond surely to the flat SSB information here for the long term. So as long as we are above 93, 94, there is for me nothing to worry about the short term fluctuation. Okay. So do you have any question for this chart? And please, you can comment. Hello, comment your chart. I will check your chart request and tell me if you have some question and if you like the quality of the video, if you have some commentary about it. Thank you for your comment. So Bonk USDT, of course. So let's move on. Bonk USDT. So yeah, oh really? Did I posted it? I don't remember. What the fuck? It was the 10th July, I think it was during a live stream. You see what happened after? Wow, insane. Just, I want to review it, to show you that we are on live, so that I'm not joking with my lines. I know what I'm doing. Sometimes people can trash talk because they don't understand how to trade with indicators. Yeah, let's see. I like to show you. It was the 10th of July of this year. Whoa, that was insane. Set up here a few days ago. Oh, insane. Bong, yeah. That was crazy. I didn't post it on Twitter, but I posted it on social media. But that's insane. You see the accuracy of my lines here? It was... Maybe if I can show you why I posted this long position, because we have... Yeah, you see? Ichimoku, very, very useful. Without Ichimoku, it's like having a view, but you decrease your chance of success, because Ichimoku gave you all the validation. If you are minutious with it, you see the, yeah, that's why I called for it. You see, retest. This is exactly what happened here. We got the daily breakout, strong uptrend with a bullish katana impulse. Bullish katana is like when you have, yeah, you see the pre-validation here. When you have Tenkan and Kijun line very close to each other, saying you that the momentum is building and the trend is about to reverse, likely with the daily view for the medium term and long term, because you can have this in the short term, but it's not really efficient for the time frame. For the long term, we got the huge breakout. We got not the validation here because we failed to close above, but we got the retest, likely I think 20% or something like this. Yeah, 20%, you see 17%. We retested the Kumo, and after that, so you had a huge bullish signal here when we attacked and when we closed above the previous high here, which led to this huge 60-70% move. So you see Ichimoku on the daily, it's very powerful. So currently I will remove all the data on Bonk, yeah, because we will do it together. So what we can say if we zoom on the weekly, I will put the main levels. So first of all, I want to have a global view without Ichimoku, because there is a lot of line and you have a better view without Ichimoku of where prices on support react the most. You see on the daily, and after that I adjust it according to my line, because trend lines, you see, these are K levels. I like to, yeah, you see this trend also can be very important for the next. And of course we are now on live, so I will give you likely the medium term view, because it doesn't make sense to chart the long term if you want to trade with it. I think Bonk, yeah, looks pretty good. Weekly is likely to gonna break out. We have a possibility of continuation move with this uptrend likely act as resistance. But if we enter into the cloud, it will release a lot of bull volume, because once we close inside the cloud, the Kumo, then usually bull volume flow into the alt, into the coin. So we have likely a bullish structure on Bonk, but we have to confirm it, because next week could be red if we fail to close inside the cloud, because this is a huge resistance level. So I will be cautious as long as we haven't fully closed above 0.025 on the weekly. You see the flat level here. We are still technically very neutral on the weekly, so there is really no direction, so the market can likely move up and down. And you see I don't like the structure here. It looks like an head and shoulders pattern. Yeah, I don't like these structures. Usually it's a bearish one with a clean head. You have the left shoulder, right shoulder. Sometimes it can be above. You see the neckline can be here. Plus Bonk is still under large load on the weekly, and if Bitcoin remain neutral, as I said, on the weekly basis, if Bitcoin start to dump, bull volume will not be enough to push above the weekly view. So despite last weekly candle close in green, check, it closed under, we have not validated. So it can be a bull trap for me as long as we don't close here. Plus you have a bearish structure, we are very neutral. So I think that we are gonna see another dump, because it feels not really safe. We are still very neutral, also inside the cloud. Bearish structure for me. We could remain neutral and test many times more this zone before breaking out, because weekly time frames, you can have a lot of move during the day before to see a breakout. So this is very important. You see, for example here, that was likely a kind of diamond pattern here. maybe, yeah, here, yeah, it was a diamond structure, which you should know about it. We closed by the bear side. Currently, yeah, bonk for me very neutral. I will give you the K level, but I guess that we are gonna see another dump. I don't like the market structure for because I know in one glance when you are neutral, when you have a bearish pattern under many major resistances, it not feel a good timing. Even for the long term, it can be bullish, but for the medium term, we can have something like this. Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is exactly what I looked for. You see, for me, it's very clean. We can have, yeah, this kind of structure with the head, which is here. Let me know if you see my screen. Yeah, you see the structure, it's exactly the same. Yeah, I can say like this. You have up the head, which is here. You have the right shoulder inside the neutral area. Okay, let me know if you see the same thing as me, because I saw it immediately, but sometimes it can be something different. And because on live I can't spend too much time to see everything, because I have to scroll on other chart. But left shoulder, I'm trying to explain as I can what I see. And yeah, and validation on stop loss point might be above this line, of course, if you want to trade it at your own risk, because this is not a financial advice. And yeah, we have we can have so something like this as decline, and you see the, yeah, so it's likely for me, yeah. So did you see the same as me? Okay, up. If we remove the script, it can be something like this. And currently we are very neutral, but it looks like, yeah, you see we are also very neutral on the daily basis, and the lagging span has not confirmed any breakout above this level. So usually we can say that if we enter inside the Kumo, this is very there is a lot of indecision inside this zone. Everything can happen, and of course if there is a bullish news I'm not aware of, we are not aware of it, then of course in case of bull volume we can't predict the future. We could see a breakout, but yeah, it looks similar as Bitcoin. We are very stuck. It's not as bullish as Bitcoin, because on the daily it's, and on the weekly we are still under many major resistance compared to Bitcoin, which is above major resistances. But that's why if Bitcoin keep and remain neutral, I guess that the next move on Bonk will likely be another test of this. So I will keep this chart. I will keep this chart around the corner up, and we will review it together after the stream, and you will see that I will probably have right. And you see something important, you have a huge correction here, and you have possibly a lower and higher low here. So yeah, it looks like we are gonna dump next. Up. So on Bonk, yeah, we'll draw the line again. what was the time frames? Yeah, it's on the H1 time frames here. Okay, just to up, let you know about the next, something like this. We might move downward next. So yeah, bearish neutral on Bonk and bearish bias for me for the next move. Please comment if you have another chart, please. Pepe and Pengu, thanks Amit Naruto. You can put, if you want to trade, stop loss above the main head, which can be 4% above, but you can, we can claim 6% before the next big move on the medium term. And I will short it also, maybe 10 leverage on my side with 4% stop loss. That will be good. I often like to trade like 10 leverage, and oh, my trade was green. Okay, I closed Merle with 20% of gain. That's cool. Just taking a trade on Bonk. Yes, comment your other alt, please, and I will check the next one if you have some chat to be checked. So yeah, Bonk for me is like sell signal for Bonk for me. I have a huge, not huge, but it looks like sell setup here for Bonk. You see, can be something like this, and we are currently making the higher low. Okay, so the market isn't safe, but if you know that Bitcoin is neutral, when you have a structure and when you are under resistances, it helps you to trade at the good side, because the most difficult part is to trade when you are neutral, and it happens 70% of time the market is moving sideways, and here it's exactly inside the sideways phase. One tips, when you are inside the Kumo, there is literally no direction, so usually it's a non-tradable zone. But with my I can say with my skill, if you are able to detect the pattern, because I learned a lot regarding the pattern structure, the Japanese candlestick, it can really help to know where to trade. And of course here I open the trade because we are likely around the top resistance, which is the SSA here, and I guess that if we don't break above, then we are likely to break another time, likely to visit the lower trend, because Bitcoin is also under resistance, so it helps to take this decision. Okay, so yeah, I can check ENA, Aster. Okay, go for Aster, Sol, and ENA. Okay, let's go. And say, yeah, okay, I will just move on say quickly because I already did it many times. You see the say structures. Yeah, you see the bullish pennant here, and according to my line, so I drawn it like this, but we could see another test of this level, but currently we are still very bullish, and yeah, the breakout is very weak. We have a dodgy on the daily view. You see the daily candle, very neutral, likely strong resistance with 1 to 3 days stuck here. We have the lowest K support here, but you see this breakout is very tiny. Usually for a full breakout of the wedge structure, the lagging span must break above the trend, especially the trend line, because it's an hidden level that people are not aware of without Ichimoku, but it's very powerful. So currently say is very neutral, and it feels like we are gonna move sideways, yeah, inside this. It feels like another dump is gonna be C, because it's at resistance with a very weak breakout confirmation. It feels like we are gonna test again, yeah, maybe this zone, which has been almost grabbed here, liquidity. But yeah, very unsafe zone. The bull move looks very weak. You see, we had yesterday on the news a 10%, 8% impulse, but it has been stopped immediately at resistance at this kind of structure. So very neutral. I can't say much right now, but for the long term, for say, yeah, if you look at the structure, say for the long term, for me it's a long-term bullish consolidation. You see, exactly as I said, you add, and it's gonna the next move is gonna be explosive, but people don't trust my line, because you see, we add, I'm on the weekly view, so we add first wave, retest of the, I guess it's a 0.762, and you will see that I likely am right. Yeah. Oh, this is insane. 786. Yeah, sorry. This is the exact one I would tend to say, because usually on Ichimoku it corresponds to the Tenkan line on the shortest time frame. So I don't have the exact example, but if you look at this on the lower time frames, you have the exact Tenkan retest. So that was on this, the bottom, but you have to learn a bit more before to know about it. And you see the structures. So from this bottom to this, you have the 50% fib support up, which is exactly here. So since now almost 2 months in a row, bulls are consolidating above the 50% fib after the weekly breakout. So this is likely for me a bullish consolidation. Also, if you look at the cloud, it's steep here, which usually lead to an easier breakout. Of course, we can also move to grab liquidity again lower, but at the moment, if we consolidate above 0.26, the risk reward is literally very huge, because say can easily pump another 30% to visit the 50% tip higher, which is this one. You see, yeah, from this top to this low, yeah, almost the same, 0.44, 0.45, which is my next K level to target, but the horizon of time frame is like a few weeks from here. But you see, this is literally a very good chart, and one day you will wake up, for me, if we hold above this, we will see something like that for say. So as long as we hold above this yellow zone, this is a bullish macro time frame bullish consolidation. Likely very hard to say where is the trend, the exact trend, but we are gonna see an explosive move. Same as the other chart, you have likely two main level, 0.36 and 0.36 and 0.375, and in case of daily candle close above 0.36, then it will be likely a green light for the next wave upward. But this is literally a bullish structure, bullish consolidation. You see also above the previous, it's a perfect example of long-term resistances here, also support resistances turning as support. So yeah, this is likely a long-term view for say, and the short-term is very neutral, but the bias remain bullish. So my advice, personal advice, is like to not chase short-term on it. Rather, you should build the support. So this is not a financial advice, just my personal opinion, okay? Yeah, you see each time we touch this zone, each time we move higher. And especially if Bitcoin remains stable and above 100k, then chances to see a big wave upward for Sei network. And Sei, if you understand, this is a layer 1 blockchain, one of the most hype, with similar features as Ethereum and even more massive adoption. And this is only a $2 billion cap project. So for the long term, for me, this is a very good long term to have in your bag. Because if you look at the monthly, we are just here. And a few years ago, the network adoption wasn't as this. So Sei could literally move toward $2. It's very possible. If you remember the last bull cycle, project like this, like Chainlink, Solana and more, pumped 10x because there is a real case usage, real world use case, and adoption is growing very fast of Sei on Sei blockchain. So that's it for Sei. Bonk, I did. Pengu, I can say. So someone asked for open USDT. I can go for open. Up. Oh, my trade gone good. Open. So you know that I'm bullish on open, but it's like a dark period for holder, because you know that the seed, the first buyer and the early insiders benefit from the hype of the listing, okay? So the price is up 17x on the Binance listing, but people, I guess that there was a pre-sale earlier, so I didn't know about the I don't know if there was an earlier seed investors, but they are likely up more. So that's why when you are 17x time in profit, then even if it's a good project, the sell pressure remains stronger than the buy pressure at the moment. But when you correct, like this, 70%, 60% from the top, it's like many projects on Binance, you have a sideways phase. I know the project, this is a very good one for the long term. When you have a sideways phase like this, for long at bottom with real use case, then it's exactly when you have to take a look for the long term. So currently, what can I say is that we are very neutral. Okay, if we just look at lagging span, breaching a double top here, so it's likely a final capitulation phase. Up. So we are very neutral inside this box on open protocol. Two major levels are here, as you can see. I will just show you the upper K level, the bottom likely here. So what you can do is to monitor the bottom on support, the top and support, and if we close, if we are near, okay, I will put it in like that. So this is a yellow neutral range. So usually in this kind of configuration, traders tend to buy the bottom and sell the top. But the most difficult part is to define if we are at a long-term bottom or if we are still gonna dump lower. Currently, we are still very bearish if we zoom on the H4 because all components of Ichimoku are bearish, but we have to check the RSI also. Yeah, very flat. Yeah, open is likely to retest this zone, and why not? I will set honestly with you on live. Oh, this is AVAX. I misclicked, but look at AVAX. My God, I was right. Whoa. We are gonna review it because this is another masterclass. This is absurd. Whoa. You see the structure, it's similar as say here. Whoa, AVAX. Insane. I told you the chart on AVAX, we were here 45% of gain. This is insane. I will review it after open, and I open this because I misclick. So, but yeah, I didn't review it. AVAX was insane. To go through open, yeah, we are still also gonna dump on the 15 minutes. If you look at the range high and range low fib, we are still under the 50%, so the middle of the range, which is usually act as both side support and resistance, you see. So as long as we remain stuck under this red 0.86, then I guess that chances to see a test of the lower range is likely possible. So I think about the risk reward is not as good as this, but yeah, I will personally short it, maybe 10 leverage and risk reward 1-1. I think stop loss above 0.86 and target 0.8320. And once we are gonna hit the bottom, I will surely take another long entry, because if you look at the daily, you see each time we dumped here, we had large tails, so viewers are very interesting, are likely interested to buy here. But yeah, monitor the range zone I gave you. Okay, and this is I can't tell you more about open. So if you have inside internal info about the project or bullish news adoption coming, the fundamental can help. But currently, I'm very bullish for the long term, but I don't know if it's the best entries if price can dump a bit more. But what you can do, of course this is not a financial advice, is if you review the project, if you have confidence in, you can maybe every week doing DCA, you buy every week like $200 every week. Then you don't have to care about the current price if it dumped 10%, because if you know that we are very red on the weekly and we are gonna fly later because of the project adoption, then that's the best option to do. Otherwise, just focus on the short-term structure for now, because I can't say that I can't say with certainty, with 100% of confidence, that this is a bullish structure or this is a bearish structure. I don't know yet, but for me the project growth is likely gonna be insane in the AI field, and we are gonna moon maybe in the end of the year. And it's especially when it's red that people don't want to buy, but you have the highest risk reward when it's red, because if you understand the fundamental on the project, if you are confident in, then you have the greatest risk reward, except if you gamble with leverage, of course, but this is surely not recommended. Okay, up, so for me open 10x, 15%, 1% of dump, and yeah, 2.5. Okay, so yeah, this is my open view, and something possible could be something like this with a triple bottom. Usually in a range, I will give you a tips. Usually you often have at least 3 tests in range on support or resistances before to see the real breakout. So usually in most of case you can have something like this, 0.0, 1 and 2 here. If the bull pressure is strong enough here, and if we break above the mid range again, then it's likely gonna break by the upside, because usually you have 3 touch of support and likely 3 or 4 touch of resistance also. But if the bull pressure remains very weak at this test, then usually at the opposite, when you have a fourth test, yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, at the third touch here, so the fourth test, usually then it's when you break by the downside. So this is very important, because it works on most of time frames. Likely on higher time frames it's more efficient, but this is a good tips I can give you for your own trading. Okay, let's move on the other, on ENA maybe, as you said. Okay, ENA. Okay, I will delete my chart. So what was my chart configuration? Okay, so I have this. For ENA, you know that I'm bullish for the... Ooh, this is not looks bad. So that was my main trend, but I don't like, honestly, when I see something like this. It feels like we are gonna break down. You see, this trend I really don't like, because in a bull market, when you have a trend line, you have strong impulse, strong reaction each time on the trend, and the trend is acting like it's pushing the price upward. But in that case, if I only look at the chart, you have something like this. You have many tests in a short period of time. And I see that ENA also released a lot of tokens. There is a lot of tokens that have been withdrawn in Binance. I know, I think that it's from the team or some insider. So people, when you have a huge amount of token in an exchange, it's likely to sell, and it's not likely to buy for the long term, because otherwise you will have invest and move fund in a secure wallet. Maybe I'm wrong, but judging by the structures, yeah, it feels like it's not necessarily bearish for the long term, but the short term and medium term, we are stuck under the 50% fib and monthly resistance. So many rejection. You see also, yeah, you see the last weekly view. You see this candle. So let me remove. This is usually like we are gonna see a bearish continuation. So I think that we need to grab liquidity a bit lower before to see further break. We are very neutral technically on the weekly, but it feels like the price isn't ready to break We can even have a test of the SSA here, if you understand Ichimoku fundamentals. And this is, it feels like it's a double top structure. Yeah, it feels like we are gonna dump. So maybe I'm wrong, but buyers, it feel, yeah, it look at my line, this is so accurate. So you have one peak, two peak, so corresponding to this. So the lagging span is like the delay of the candle close 26 period in the past. So this one corresponds to this one, and this one is the close here, and we have like a double top structures, and it feels like it's a bearish accumulation before to see another big dump. So some projects are bullish, some others are bearish. This is likely because of the token economics also, and fundamentals. ENA fundamentals are really strong, but tokenomics, from what I see, not good as a note. So yeah, it feels like for me we are gonna see a big dump. Yeah, especially it looks like very weak. We are under many now, two main resistance, which is 0. I will point to the K resistances. The first one is this one, 0.738, 0.74. We have also the clean downtrend, so we are still stuck in a bear move, and I think that the bear trend is not over yet, because it doesn't look like a wedge like this. Usually when you have a bullish structure, you have a kind of wedge like this, but here it looks like just a bearish accumulation, and we have a strong sell pressure, clean Ichimoku. Yeah, also very validation of reversal on Ichimoku. Bearish, you see the lagging span crossed inside, under the cloud, prices under each component on the H4. On the daily we got the breakout of the Kijun. We haven't enough power to retest the upper breakout at 0.74, but this is a K resistance now, and we have the double top resistance at 0.81 and 0.79. So it feels like being under this zone. It's like hoping for news, but yeah, I think that we are gonna see another dump on ENA, because I saw on X someone talked about I have to check on the software which can track liquidity funds, and apparently ENA moved a lot of token. ENA team moved a lot of token on exchanges, so likely to sell it rather than. So it's like a sell event for me rather than a bull event. So for me, yeah, there is a chance to see a bearish correction move, likely towards 0.6061, which is the lowest K demand zone. And if we break, yeah, because you have also the trend line, it looks pretty weak. If we break, you see the medium term, long term trend line here. So if we break under this trend, it will result likely in a large sell pressure. We could even also continue to move to visit the lower support. So we are neutral on the daily, but I anticipate a bearish move. Yeah, look, I will show you bearish. I think it's bearish evening star. No, I don't know about the name, but I think it's something like the. Yeah, you see, it can be. You see the weekly, because we are at a weekly 50% fib resistance. It feel like, you see, So Ichimoku, you have the 50% theme from the, yeah, around this zone, but Ichimoku is more accurate than the fib. It feels like if we draw the fib, yeah, we can visit the lowest golden pocket here, or 50% fib here, or yeah, but Ichimoku is even more accurate. And if you look at my lines, yeah, it corresponds to this level. So for me, we are gonna test the 0.060 or 0.61 at least before to see another regain in bull momentum. Okay, and it looks like, oh, do you see what I see, guys? This is exactly what we saw at the beginning of this stream. Likely it can be a double top, but if you look at the structure, it can also be a head and shoulders. It's not as visible as the one I showed you earlier, but it can be. What do you think if you look at the daily? But the right shoulder can sometimes be at the size of the head. But it looks like we are gonna break for me this trend. So cautious with ENA. I will give you the shortest time frame levels. Up. Just 1 minute. And currently, if we look at the short term, what you can do is to monitor this downtrend, okay, and keep an eye on level by level. We'll give you the case support. You see the accuracy of Ichimoku, this and this here. So you have to monitor for this setup, because if you trade the short term, support are very important to monitor. You have the 0.673, 0.64 and 0.625. Okay, and keep an eye on the double top. And for me, for the long-term investors, weekly close above 0.79, 0.80 is mandatory for safe green light for long entry. Okay, and then in case of weekly candle close above the SSB here, and in case of consolidation, and if price excites the cloud, then we are gonna see another wave. But currently it's very bearish configuration on the short term. We are likely to retest 0.55. You see the 50% fib here. So this 50% fib corresponds to the last 9 period. So if you draw a rectangle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So usually, if you draw the fib from this to this, you see the you see the 50% fib, which is exactly here. And usually from my lines, we can see something like this, because I know it's a solid project. Long-term structure does not look bad, meaning that if we have from the top here a 35% correction, for me it makes sense to see after that another wave upward, especially if Bitcoin is lagging for many weeks, and if Bitcoin is gonna break by the upside, then ENA could follow in some weeks. But you should understand that the short term is neutral, medium term bearish, long term likely bullish, but I don't know. So this is my view on ENA, and you have, as I said, bearish anticipation because of these structures. 0.61, 62 and 0.55 can be. So we can have possible scenario for me will be something like this, and here 0.55 will be the demand points, and I will show you, yeah, if I'm right, because sometimes the volume speak volume profile. Yeah, you see, if I zoom on the weekly, but yeah, you see, we are here. So we moved above the POC and the largest volume. We have the first long-term bull pressure, signal validation, and you have, for me, yeah, this K demand zone, which might be retested and could be the next K level, as you can see. And if we break through 0.55, then long term will be bad for me. But currently, this is my view. I hope you enjoy it. I can check Aster, yes, Aster and Solana, and then after that I will move on chart analysis. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy the view, and I will keep it. You will see in few hours maybe that this scenario is likely gonna play, because I have more than 80% win rate on my chart, and you have a very good point for selling for me here if you follow. And please, this is not a financial advice. I said Aster, yeah, Aster USDT, I see it has been listed on Binance. Do you have the tickers for Aster? Do you have the ticker for Aster, you ask? I don't find the chart. I think it's ST. Ah non, c'est Aster. Let me check. Yeah, ENA, yeah. Okay, I will move on another one. I will do Aster later on. Ethereum, yeah, Ethereum, I can check Ethereum quickly if you want. I was bearish yesterday. Yeah, I think that's a bearish structure on Ethereum, and we can grab liquidity at 400k, because if Bitcoin remain neutral, Ethereum is likely gonna grab liquidity lower, but nothing is sure, because this is very difficult time for traders, because Bitcoin and Ethereum are stuck in a very neutral area. Everyone is waiting for the next big move, but if you look at the weekly, okay, if you look at the weekly, oh, it's very bullish on the weekly. If you look at the monthly also, it's very bullish. Oh, so, oh no, it's XRP, my bad. Why it moved on XRP? Up. Yeah, that's not the same. XRP looks much cleaner than Ethereum, because I'm not mad, I drew the chart yesterday. Ethereum, it feels like it's an over bull move for me right now. We might grab liquidities lower before another move. I showed you already last time. You see the RSI also. It feels like we have not fully completed the retest here on Ethereum. But technically, yeah, you see this is very beautiful. We started another cycle, I think, on Ethereum, and we are consolidating in view to another big wave upward. Look at the chart, this is very clean. Currently, oh, is that kind of, yeah, no, I don't know, kind of up, can be something like this, diamond pattern, but Usually when you have a diamond pattern, you have another leg. It can be something like that, because sometimes it's very hard to find diamond pattern. Yeah, for me we have to keep it simple on Ethereum without Ichimoku because we are very neutral. So long-term bias for me remain very bullish as long as we hold above 308, because that was 308 lower main level, but technically there are also higher support. We flipped, we broke above this multi-years, multi-months resistance, which is now acting as likely support before the next big move. Okay, so we are still bullish on the weekly, but look at this, I explained it many times. We are likely very overextended because this bull move was very hyped. The Tenkan is very far from the Kijun, very large space, and the Kumo hasn't started to move more with a lower, tinier space here. So same as the others alt, I expect to see a pullback, and for the full validation, we could see another test of this K level. So for me, it feels like it's not safe to run on Ethereum inside this zone because we have to retest. Why not retesting a third time? Or at least if we don't retest it, prices can continue to move sideways for some weeks before breaking out, because we are not fully ready yet. And according to my Ichimoku view, seeing another bearish move is likely to be seen to grab liquidities lower. You have the golden pocket at 3,600K. Likely can be the true lowest K bottom before the real move, but I think that price is gonna retest at least the 400K. Maybe I'm wrong, we are very neutral, it's difficult to anticipate, but I won't try to long it under the 4,800K, because judging by my monthly and weekly view, despite bullish, I think that we will have to wait some weeks more, like Bitcoin, before the real move starts. So what we can do is to sell high and buy low on support. I will move on the shortest time frames, trying to find if something. Yeah, we are still very, very neutral, as you can see, so everything can happen at the moment. I will try to find the structures like I see on Open and others alt in the past, in the previous stream. So H1 and H4 structures can be very helpful, because if you are inside a long-term range, if you have a bearish structure, then it moves always on your side, most often on your side, because the range does not give you enough volume on both sides to confirm, but the pattern is likely to follow when you are inside a long-term range. You see also this multi-weeks range area. You have the same kind of, for me, we have a kind of same range taking place here, and yeah, maybe here. So this could be likely to be more accurate, because one point of contact is not valid. We can have a kind of yellow range here, okay, with two major resistance at 4.8K and 4.9, let's say. So bullish validation will be given for me in case of bullish breakout on the daily with large volume above this peak, above 408.5k, 4008.5k, sorry. But at the moment it feels more like we are gonna visit again and again lower support, because we are clearly not ready on the higher time frames. We are stuck inside multi-weeks levels. It's so hard to say right now. Why not seeing something like this? I can't tell you. There is no structures. We are still neutral on the H1 also. It's difficult to say. You can, so that's my view for Ethereum. This is typically a coin that a zone that I avoid to trade, because I don't know, literally. And if you want to trade it on the long side, good luck, because you can be stuck. You see the doji here? You can be stuck for many weeks inside this zone. Despite if it's above the Kumo, it's usually a bullish sign. Consolidation above the daily Kumo usually lead to another bullish wave. But if we keep lagging around that zone, and if we made a daily close, if we make a daily close inside the cloud, then it will validate my bullish correction scenario, at least toward 400k, 4000k. So then that will be the best timing. So the best to do for me is to wait. If you want to play the long term, wait for correction and grab lower entry, or at least wait for bullish confirmation above this level. But for the long term, of course, Ethereum will gonna higher. It's gonna move higher because of the fundamentals, and I don't think it will remain stuck inside this zone for years. And technically, if you look at my charts, as I said, we are still very bullish above 302k. But zooming on the weekly, it feels like we can see another short-term correction before to see the real move. But technically this is very, very bullish. We are about to change macro time frame cycle, but it's not necessarily sure, because if you look at the historical view, we haven't break above the 80H. So judging by this chart, this could be a double top structure, and it makes sense for me. Without breakout, you see this is the November 2021 prices touched 4,900k. Okay, we got the same touch here, so why not to see a double top and a bearish correction, likely toward the upper golden pocket, because we are still very bullish. It's likely 20%, 25%, and it could correspond to the you see. So give time to the market. This is really a really possible view. So as long as there is no weekly candle close above the previous 80H, it feels like another red event could be seen, and it makes sense for me after this 250% wave upward, seeing a 20%, 25% correction, makes sense for me, and this is likely the safest scenario for traders to anticipate, because we cannot anticipate a breakout of the 80H with such weekly configuration. So it's likely for me a kind of bearish. Even if Ichimoku looks good on the daily, higher time frame are not necessary already. So there is a room open for bearish correction toward this level. Yeah, this one, and that was also this one, and the 308, which is here. Yeah. So this could be the room. This could be a possible scenario, but I remain very, very bullish as long as we are above those supports here. So that's my view on Ethereum. Short term, very tricky, neutral, and medium term, long term. Long term bullish, medium term likely few weeks, likely another short term dump, yeah, likely a bearish move. And at least if we consolidate above 400k, that will be very bullish, and 308, that will be the best entry point for me. And if we break below, then 306, but this is very far for now, so I will remain stick on this one. Okay, and it can be also a kind of bull flag, and why not to see a fake out to grab liquidities, because higher time frame are not ready, and I know that in most of cases, in a bullish structure, whales and market tend to manipulate traders by creating fake breakout at the opposite. So the safest entry point for me remain, yeah, these two supports before the real move starts. My stream is lagging, I don't know. Maybe yes, I don't know. But that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Short term remain very tricky on the market, but I think that we're gonna see likely a small bearish move again on Bitcoin, on other assets, and the real move might start in few months, few weeks at the end of the year. Voila, that's it for me, and yeah, thanks for following. Drop your comment. Don't hesitate to follow my YouTube channel. And yes, don't forget that you can join my groups for free and my private group also for free. I will share you the link on YouTube. You can join. Yeah, I will do Aster. Yes, give me the ticker for Aster. Give me the chart. I didn't find the TradingView chart. C'est Aster, I think. Yeah, I don't remember. No, I don't think it's this one. It was the old one. I see Aster on the BNB chain, but not on this. Yeah, so be careful, be aware of the short-term market move because it can be very tricky. We are still very neutral on the H4 view. And market can reverse very fast, okay? And that's it. I think that the real bull run might start maybe in December at the end of the year. Some altcoin like large cap, like Bitcoin might explode, and then medium term market cap coins such as 100 million and more will follow. And after that, after the Bitcoin peak and consolidation, then liquidities could flow into low cap. So that's why if you have some low cap in mind, don't risk all in, because you could wait a lot of years or weeks more before the move, except if there is big news or real use case product and adoption coming in. So thank you for following, and you can join my link I shared, and see you later. Bye. Thank you. Bye.